Hey there, everybody, and thanks for tuning into this video. I have not done a live in a little bit, so just thought I'd come on and talk about the past couple months because I've had some pretty incredible experiences in the past few months, and I just wanted to share those experiences with you. So I'm going to have some pictures that I posted on social media, but most importantly, I want to talk about how I actually changed a lot over the past uh, few months since March. So, first of all, I just turned 49 this year on March 3rd. And so that's supposed to be a big year, and next year is the big 5-0, so to speak. So, and a lot of things have happened this year. During the pandemic, I decided to go back to college and finish a degree that I had started many, many years ago. Went and got my bachelor's degree, finished my master's degree, all that kind of stuff. But that's not what I'm on here to talk about. What I'm on here to talk about is a story that happened to me while I was in New Orleans. But let me just go ahead and start with this. I had done two cities within 2 weeks. I took a trip to New York, to Manhattan in March, and then I went to New Orleans a week later. So when I went to Manhattan, had an amazing time. It was only about maybe 2.5 days there because I was there for work. And then, I got to go up on the 34th floor of the New York Life building. So that is pretty amazing when you think about it. Just going to show you a real quick picture here. And then, I'm not going to take up too much time with this because I really want to get into the actual content or story, so to speak. But, just bear with it. Here is that picture of me on the 34th floor of the New York Life building. Absolutely gorgeous. I can send you more pictures. They're on my Facebook. But that's not the important part of this story. So then the next week, I'm in New Orleans, and this we were there for me and my friend Jonathan's birthday. Um, and so why that's important, just going to show you this picture. This is us. I can't even remember what club this was in New Orleans, but we flew in on Friday and we're there until Monday. It was actually a really good time. But the story goes this: I am sitting on a balcony. He's talking, we're talking, and I'm looking over Bourbon Street. And I'm just sitting there, kind of just very relaxed and just having a very good time that weekend. I had really let loose and danced so hard the first night that I actually kind of hurt my ankle a little bit. I hadn't danced like that in a very long time. But here was the realization I had had. I was sitting there and I realized that the last time I was sitting on that balcony was 19 years prior. And 19 years prior, I had gotten it was the ending of my relationship that I had at the time. And so, that relationship took me, after the actual official breakup, took me roughly about 4 years to recover from it. I was really heartbroken. It was the first time I had my heart broken like that before. I'd been lied to. There was just a whole bunch of stuff. Now I had my own problems in the relationship. So looking back, 19 years later, I'm held myself accountable for things I was responsible for in the relationship as well, because it takes two to destroy a relationship, so to speak. So, but I was sitting there and I thought, wow, what's the difference between me now and then in 19 years ago? Well, the difference is I was no longer hurt. I no longer had that broken heart. And most importantly, I had fallen in love with myself. And that's the truth, everybody. We're all looking for this love outside of ourselves. And I'm not going to say that obviously we can't have love outside of ourselves. But the truth is love does not come from outside of you. It starts within you. And so, how does that happen? How do we get to find that love within ourselves? Well, a lot of times we don't speak up for ourselves in relationships or jobs. We don't speak up for ourselves with groups of friends or whatever. And, our internal world sees that, feels it, and it feels all the stress that is created within us that hurts us. And so it comes from the times that we say yes when we want to say no, when we do things that we really don't want to do, but we do them anyways. It comes from missed opportunities that we didn't say we loved somebody or spent time with them when we had the opportunity to do so. I'll give you an example of this. Yesterday, I woke up and I was really just wanting to lay in bed. I'd laid in bed the whole day before because I had been really busy lately. And this morning I woke up and I it was just like, "Ah, I don't really want to get out of bed and all that other kind of stuff." But I got up. Here's the reason why, because somebody very important to me was saying goodbye at the church that I go to, and she was no longer going to be there. And so it was important to me to at least go give her a hug and say goodbye. So if I hadn't have gone, that would be a missed opportunity for me. And the one thing you don't want to do is have regret. So what ends up happening is in relationships, friendships, or any type of relationship you have, we have a lot of missed opportunities. So don't forget to say to the people that you love or care about that you love them when you feel it. When you feel it in your heart, don't say it with your word or your mind. Say it with your heart, and you'll start changing a lot of things in the dynamics of your relationship. So with that being said, I was sitting there and I was really just moved, I guess, is this the way to say it is because I was actually sitting there thinking about, my life, so to speak, and all the missed opportunities I've had in my relationships. And and I thought to myself, I'm not going to miss it again. I'm never going to miss it again. But let me continue on with the story because that was just the beginning in New Orleans. I was in New Orleans. I had been in New York. I had a really good time, an amazing time. I was just laughing and being silly. And then I get to New Orleans and I had this moment or this epiphany where I realized I had fallen in love with myself. And that's not a bad thing, by the way, everybody. Everybody thinks that it's bad to love yourself. And that's just not true. Just not true at all. Now, the other next thing that happened is I decided for the first time in my life, I'd put on spiritual conferences on cruise ships. I'd put on psychic fairs, but never to this extent. And so I had been working with a group of people to put on a vendor fair called the Mystic Fair of Tampa. And so this is the time where I just took a leap of faith and I decided to be one of the producers in the show. And I did it with my friend Colette. We both did an amazing job. We went to the Church of Harmony and Sacred Space in Tampa. It was a successful day. It could have been more successful, absolutely. But here's the nature of this message. Just like sharing your feelings with people and telling them that you love them, that's a leap of faith. And here's the problem: we're terrified to be vulnerable with people. We are terrified to um, let our guard down, so to speak, so that we can really share with people how we feel. And just like business or things that are our dreams, we have a habit of not taking those leaps of faith where we can really share and experience our lives. We're all wanting this really enriched life, but we're afraid to take the steps forward to do that. And if it really resonates with your heart, then take the leap of faith in the times, in the right and divine perfect times. And then you will definitely see a change in your life because here's the thing, what do you got to lose? I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Some people like, I can be homeless, I can run out all my money. You cannot take your home and you cannot take your money to heaven. They're not gonna care. They're gonna be like, keep that home and that mortgage at home. Keep that money there down on the planet. You can't take all your clothes with you. It's just one of those things. So make sure you have these opportunities when you have these opportunities to say you love somebody, to show that somebody that you care about them, and to also love yourself and act on the opportunities that are going to make you happy. Take those leaps of faith, and I'm can guarantee you you're going to see a different life. So I was at the Mystic Fair, and my very good friend Dr. Debbie Roche came to visit me, and she's just a wonderful lady and a beautiful soul. We were in the same psychic development class for many, many years with our teacher Reka. You ever get a chance, check her out, and she's Dr. Debbie Roche on Facebook. She's done miracles with me health wise, but she's just a genuinely great person. So we got to connect, and it was just very heartfelt. And I think that that's something that we really want to have. We want to have these experiences that are very heartfelt. So the next thing that happened to me, I'm just going to fast forward roughly about a month because I've had so many incredible experiences, but I want to bore you with all the details. But I go on a cruise with my friend Jennifer, and I had been having this experience where my feet were bothering me. I was really having a lot of pain and that kind of stuff. And you think, I thought we were going to talk about healing here, Jared. Well, that I am going to talk about that. So, because of New Orleans and New York and the Mystic Fair, I did a lot of walking. I have very high arches in my feet, and I was in a lot of pain. I was like walking around like an old man all the way up until I got on this cruise, and I'd done a lot of healing work on it, but I hadn't quite broke that pain in there. And with the first night of the cruise, I was walking around like a 110-year-old man, so to speak. But I laid on a bench and did some healing work and really got into my heart and started breathing that heart energy through the body. And what I want you to do is I want you to just do that for a second. Just close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And I want you to feel that heart energy really just flow. And your breath is going to take it through the body, all the way down to your feet and past your feet. And then you're going to breathe it back in and see if you can feel that. And for the people watching, I can feel your energy, and it's really pretty cool. So, but really feel that energy and feel that heart energy, because falling in love with yourself, what's happened is you've spent a lifetime of judging yourself. You're thinking you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, that you don't deserve anything, nobody's going to love you, you're never going to get anything, that the world is working against you, all that kind of stuff. And I can guarantee you, if you look back at your life, you've been thinking that throughout your life. And that's what I call the mind poison. And so what you have to do is you have to face that mind poison, and you have to start saying to it, no, that's not true. It is not true at all. And I don't accept that anymore. So those are some of the things that you can really start saying to yourself and really start seeing a change in your life. So now the other part of that story, and the reason why I bring that up, is so we're on this cruise, we're having a great time, and really just enjoying it. We were there because my friend Jennifer is she plays the slots when she's on there, and she plays them and she gets free cruises. So this is us on formal night. Had an amazing night. It was a lot of fun, and you can just tell we have a lot of smiles there. But here's the thing: we were at dinner, and she said, "Have you ever gambled before?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but just really not my thing." And she said, "Well, I think what we should do is we should try." So I thought, well, I'm going to get in my heart space. So I started getting in my heart space, and I started seeing myself so excited about winning and just the joy I would feel if I won, and started feeling that. So I only, put so much money in there. And I said to myself, well, this is my budget for doing that. So here's the thing: I won $338.35 on a cruise on a slot machine. And then it was exactly how I felt. All the bells and whistles were going off, and I was super excited. And, then, I won. So some would say, and they would ruin this whole opportunity for them, and they would say, oh, it was only $300. Who cares? This is the thing. Your mind here downplays things. This is a blessing. It's something to have fun with. I want you to really think about this, because I've spent the last 3 years from the pandemic just literally sitting in my thoughts. And I'm just going to level with you. You have an asshole in there. You have an asshole in there that criticizes you, that puts you down, stresses you out about things, that worries about things that you don't even have any control over. And you sit there and you cause stress. I do it. You do it. And here's the reason why I know, because I literally sat there in my thoughts, because we didn't have anything else to do during lockdown. I sat there in meditation and really started looking at how much we really put ourselves down. And I know this works. I know it works, because I can guarantee you, when you start loving yourself, caring about yourself, building yourself up, your confidence is going to go up. You're going to take more risk. And a risk doesn't mean you're jumping off a cliff somewhere. Maybe a risk means going into your boss and saying, I want a raise, or I want a promotion, or hey, quitting your job and doing something you really love. Whatever it is, going back to college, whatever it is, take that leap of faith for you. And I have people tell me, oh, I don't have time. I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. I have dyslexia. I made an F in English, barely made it through high school. I think I had a 1.8 GPA in high school. I just graduated college with just a little bit over a 3.0, and so with my master's degree program. I can tell you anybody can do and change your life, but you have to put in the work, you have to get out there, you have to take a leap of faith. And I can tell you, nothing happens in your life if you just sit there and do nothing, stressing and worrying. And if you're stressed and you're depressed, depression means there's something that you need to do to change it. If you're in a relationship that doesn't make you happy, or if there's things you need to say in your relationship and you haven't said it because you're afraid of what the consequences are, you are only damaging yourself and you're damaging the person that you're not speaking to. And to be quite honest with you, what I discovered of me not speaking up, it was not only selfish for me, it was selfish for the other person. So that's something to think about. It's selfish for me and it's selfish to the other person because you didn't have the courage to stand up and really talk about how you feel. So we continue on, and there's this. I just want to show a couple more pictures of us at the beach, and this is something. This was a trip. We went to this place called Mr. Sancho's in Mexico or in Cozumel, and I can tell you, it is so much fun. This is us at Mr. Sancho's on the beach, and this is me actually on the beach. The water is incredible there. And here's the thing: I wanted a life where I traveled a lot, as much as possible. I wanted to travel and I wanted that all my life. And so, but I had to take the leap of faith. And I had traveled with business and with work. But traveling with business and work, here's what ends up happening. You end up actually in some place in a hotel, and you're not actually enjoying it. And you're sitting there in a hotel or in an office. And so, um, half the time you don't get to have the experiences that you want to have. But here's the thing: if you want to travel, you will find a way to do it. And so I'll give you an example. Back in 2016, I'd wanted to go on cruises my entire life. And I thought to myself, well, what's it going to take to go on a cruise? Well, me and a coworker had looked it up and we went on our very first Carnival cruise out of Tampa on the Carnival Paradise. And so we went to Cozumel and Grand Cayman, and it was a wonderful experience. And I found out you can make payments on cruises. You put 50 to $100 down, and if you book it out long enough, you can book it out sometimes 15 months to 2 years in advance, and then you make payments on it every single month. And so there's just one of those things where you can get out there, and people say, "Well, I don't want to do that." That's your mind making excuses to not do it. And you may not be able to afford a lot. You may be able to afford to just go camping and or to do something small for the weekend or do a staycation or whatever. But you can do something, and you do start with what you can do right now. And that's what I started to do. And then it started building. And the more risks and the more leaps of faith I took, the bigger my life became, the more my dreams started to happen. The more I let go and allowed God or the universe to take care of it, the more things started to happen. And that's the key thing, is that you have to get out there and take the leaps of faith and stay in your heart and follow your intuition and follow your gut, because fear is the mind killer and love is the energy that creates. Fear is the mind killer and love is the energy that creates. And it starts with love with yourself. And so, anyways, going on, we go and I have this retreat at my house in May. I had about 7, 8, 9 people. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a wonderful experience. And people kept on coming all week long. And so it was a very beautiful, loving, powerful experience. I posted pictures of it on my Facebook yesterday. Very wonderful experience with everybody. But my friend Virginia, that was in town, she wanted to go to Titusville. And so we want to go to Titusville because we want to go over there, check something out over there. Somebody sent me a video about this place called Jack's Tavern. It was supposed to be in Titusville, but it was actually in Rockledge, Florida. And so we end up going there, and we didn't. They were supposed to be haunted in the women's bathroom. We didn't feel anything in there. But here's the thing: I had a friend that was walking by me, that kept on walking by me and looking and going. Finally, she goes, "Is your name Jeremy?" And I'm like, Why, yes, my name is Jeremy. And she said, I feel like I know you. She goes, my name is Leslie, and we used to work together like, many years ago in Brandon. And I was like, oh my God, that's right. And so here I am connecting with somebody that, guess what, I knew and worked with 20 years ago. So 19 and 20 years ago is coming back to me. And this is my friend Leslie, my friend Virginia. And so here I am in this experience. And I said, hey, by the way, I'm going to be back in this area in a few months because I go and I speak in Melbourne at the Spiritualist Chapel of Melbourne in August. So it's something that, I'm going to hopefully connect with her again. We can have dinner together, catch up, all that kind of stuff. So here's the thing, that was a very profound experience, and that's not even the end of the day. So we leave there and go to see my friends in Casadega, and then we see them, and my friend Lewis pulls out his table that he does with table tipping, and the table keeps on leaning over on me, and that is my mother in spirit showing me and giving me a hug and showing me that she loves me, and I can feel that. But that is not even the end of the day. Comes home, meet up with some friends. The amount of love energy that came from us was so powerful. And I'm trying to share with you guys that your heart energy is so amazingly beautiful. But the only way it opens up is to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to really feel yourself. I mean, feel your emotions, your tears, your joy, your sadness, and everything else that we're trying to avoid our emotions and our feelings. And your inner world is like, what is going on? It's like you're literally, it's imagine being married to somebody that had no emotions and couldn't talk to you and doesn't express anything. You're literally, that's you with yourself when you're trying to bottle up your emotions, not feeling it, not loving yourself, going against yourself. Imagine being married to somebody that never listens to you. How would you feel? Imagine if your children never listened to you. You'd be really upset. Imagine if your boss never listened to you. Well, you don't listen to the inner world and what it's saying to you, and those feelings that say, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not what I want to do. I want to change it, or I want to end it. And those are the things you have to start thinking about. It doesn't mean you end everything. Letting go doesn't mean you end your relationships or quit your job right away. What it does mean is you want to have some changes in that job or that relationship so you can build on that, because relationships evolve, people evolve in relationships, not just intimate romantic relationships, but friendships and family relationships. And because we evolve, we have to grow with each other. And if we don't grow with each other, we're not going to feel like we're heard or understood. And those are the things we have to really start understanding. And if we stay in situations that really hurt our heart, then what are we saying to ourselves? We're that spouse or that boss that isn't listening to us, or that child that isn't listening to us. And that makes us very angry. It makes us angry when somebody else does it to us. Why would you do it to yourself? And those are the things that you want to start thinking about. So then the other thing that I will tell you is I used to get really frustrated with all my friends because they weren't listening to me and all that other kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And, very arrogant and ego driven. Well, what I found is as I started working on myself and started healing myself, the most amazing thing happened. My friends that I wanted to travel with me, or do things with me or see them happy, guess what I started doing? I started seeing them take leaps of faith in their lives. I started seeing them be happier. I started seeing them, yes, go through hard times and depressions and all that other kind of stuff. But then on the other side, they started seeing amazing things. You cannot control people. You can only be in control yourself and heal yourself. And if you do that, I can guarantee you, your friends will see it and your loved ones will see it. They may not change, but that's okay. They'll see you doing it. And then maybe they'll start wanting to do something for them on their own journey. And so you want to be able to show them that you can change. And as a result, they can change themselves. So it's very, just one of the coolest things in the world to watch. So, the story started off in New York and the New Orleans. And then just the other day, I was out last week and we were having the most incredible times with my friends. We were at a bar uh, in St. Petersburg. And this is us. We were all just smiling and having a good time. And it was just a wonderful night. But here's the thing, starts with love and you go from there. So I'm going to end this video just with a couple things. One is I have three big things coming up that if anybody would like to be a part of, they can definitely be a part of. I have a class that's coming up that is really talking about and teaching some of the things that I'm talking about in this video. And that is, I'm just going to show you. Um, I'm waiting to confirm the dates, but it's basically going to talk about how you can manifest your world and do it through your heart, and then give a lot of practical exercises and energies on how to do that. So that's one, and I'm assuming that's going to be up pretty soon, but I will definitely be making announcements once that happens. The second one is I have a retreat that's going to be on Clearwater Beach. I will have the details out shortly for that. That's going to be the first weekend in August. The third thing, and it's already booking up really fast, is I have a trip to Scotland in November where we're going to go to Edinburgh and Glasgow, and it's just to be an amazing week-long experience. So message me, DM me, whatever, and we will definitely connect. I want to say I love you all, and thank you for being a part of my community. I really enjoy every single one of you and the interactions we have. And for my friends that are watching, I love you all. And thank you for being a part of my heart. And if I don't say it enough, I'm saying it now. I love you. Because here's the truth: share with people how you feel. And the interesting part about the body is when you love another person, when you really give them that love, your body doesn't know the difference. It's that feels that love, and it's only helping you and them as well, that connection. Much love and peace, everybody. Talk to you soon.